Hey guys, it's Priscilla from the French Booktuber. I know I said I wouldn't do another video before leaving on vacation, but I have a review for you guys, so yeah, review time. So actually I'm here for the review of Eleanor and Park by Rowell. Just so you know, this is a non-spoilery review, so even if you haven't read Eleanor and Park, that's okay. You can go on watching the video. So the first thing you should know is that I loved this book, and I loved it so much that I wanted to do a review of it. So that's my first review actually on BookTube. Yeah, I wanted to talk to you guys about this book and all my feels, etc, etc. So the plot is very simple actually. Basically it's the story of Eleanor, who's the new girl in town, and she sits in the school bus beneath this guy, Park. At first they don't speak to each other, and then Park realizes that Eleanor is reading the comic book he's reading, like she's reading over his shoulder, something that I hate when I see people do that. I hate it, but in this book, you know, he finds it very cute and he lends her the book, like the comic book, I think it's Watchmen, and they end up talking to each other about the book and about the comic book, and then they also talk about music because Park makes mixtapes for her. They just talk on, and you know, it's the beginning of a friendship and romance eventually. So they start to fall in love, and it's about this imperfect love story with a lot of things to overcome. Like, they don't come from the same social background, so they have to deal with that. They don't come, you know, they don't live in the same universe basically, but yeah, their love story is the sweetest ever. What I didn't expect by going into this book was the importance of family, like the family portrait that is made here. We have two very different families, Eleanor's family and Park's family, and so Eleanor is very poor and Park is quite rich, and he's living in, you know, in a cozy environment with lovely parents. By the way, I loved Park's parents. I loved them. You know, they were not the perfect parents. I don't know if I would want to have parents like that. I don't know. But they seem just, you know, they seem just perfect for him, and, you know, they were very lovely in their own way. And then there's Eleanor's family, who is very different. I don't want to spoil anything, but yeah. And Rowell deals with very tough issues, and she's not dealing with them the way you would expect. Like, she's not doing it to please the reader. She's doing it her own way. One character especially is very horrible, but Rowell keeps making that character horrible, you know, and you don't understand why he can continue, you know, why nothing happens to that character or something, but she, you know, she stands her ground, and she makes it, you know. Life sometimes is not perfect, and this book tells about life, yeah, but it's very, very realistic kind of life, you know, not the most beautiful way to look at it. So that's the way it happens sometimes, even if it's very disturbing to read that. So I really enjoyed that in the book. So I found that very brave of Rowell to write a story like that, you know, to write a story that is not expected, especially in a YA context. I don't know, it was very hard to read sometimes, like, you know, all the feels, and so there are sad moments in the book, I won't lie to you about it, but there are also very, very sweet moments and happy moments, so yay. Enough with the story, let's go on with the writing style. I found the writing gorgeous. Like, it's a dual point of view, it alternates between Eleanor and Park, and it's written on every page, like, yeah, Park, Eleanor. I don't know if you can see it actually. It's not one chapter is one character. I guess that there is a bit more of Eleanor's point of view, but maybe that's just an impression. The writing is very beautiful, very sweet, just just like the characters. I don't know how to explain, but there is a sweetness in the writing in itself, and that's so cool. Like Rainbow Rowell is, like, her style is very different from one book to another. I didn't recognize the fangirl aspect in it, like the fangirl writing. I thought it was very different, and when I read Attachments, it was a very different voice that I heard in Lincoln voice. So yeah, you know, you have Kath in Fangirl, Lincoln in Attachments, Eleanor and Park here. Very different voices, and you know, they are very distinct, and I love that when an author is succeeding doing that. That's pretty cool, actually. Her writing is very powerful. I have in mind the scene when Eleanor and Park hold hands for the first time in the book, and that was the best holding hands scene that I ever read, just because it was written differently. You need to read that to understand what I mean. You know, it really destroyed me to read that. Like, I was shattered on the floor. Yeah, I was. A weird feeling that I got was there was this okay question, like, okay, you know, the characters exchanging okays. And that reminded me of another book, like this one maybe? You know, the okay with Hazel and Augustus. It was exactly the same okay type. Like, it disturbed me actually, because I thought this book was published 1 year before The Fault in Our Stars, and John Green, author of The Fault in Our Stars, he blurbed Eleanor and Park on the cover. So he read it. We know for sure because he blurbed it. So I hope that if it's inspired from Eleanor and Park, I hope that she was okay with that. Okay with that. Anyway, let's continue with the pacing of the book. This is a very fast read, like even a page turner at some point. The beginning is like a slow start, but it's a sweet slow start, you know. I don't have anything against slow starts anyway, but this one was the best. And when the story goes on, you just want to read more, you know. And the chapters, they are very, very short. I don't know if all the chapters I'm looking at are long, but I promise you they are quite, yeah, no, they are long. No, not long, but like 4 pages maybe, or 3 pages. Yeah, 4 or 5 pages, I guess, maybe a bit more, but otherwise, you know, you have very short pages, and so, you know, the pages are very fast to turn. Now for the ending, I won't get spoilery, don't worry. The ending was definitely not the ending you can expect, and many people criticized it in their review, like they were not very happy with the ending. I don't know, myself, I'm not sure, you know. I don't know, I guess I would have preferred something else, I guess, but I'm very glad the way it ended. Rainbow Rowell actually added something at the end of the book and about the ending, and she explained herself like why she decided to do such an ending and what it meant. Not what it meant, but you know, what it meant for us readers. And I found that very, very thoughtful, you know, very, like, it was so nicely put, you know. And I kind of agree with what she said, like about the characters living in the reader's heart and heads, you know, after reading a book. I totally agree with that. So anyway, I think I like the ending. It was not the perfect ending you would like to see, but it was a brave ending. Everything about this book is brave, like brave Rainbow Rowell. I heard, but I'm not sure, but I heard that there will be maybe a companion book of Eleanor and Park, like set when they are both like in their 30s. I would love that. I would die for this book. So if this book happens, if it really happens, I will be the happiest girl in the entire world. This book is pure joy. Finally, I just want to talk to you about the cover, because the cover got me to read that book. Let me explain. So I only buy paperbacks, and the paperback version of Eleanor and Park was not pretty. I didn't like it, you know. It was a blue, white and pinkish cover, I guess. So I loved the hardback version, and I want to read the ebook version either, because I wanted to have a physical experience with Eleanor and Park, because I knew that it was a Rainbow Rowell book and that I would love it. So I'm very glad that there was a cover renewal by Orion Publisher. So they took the hardback design, the one with the headphones, and they just put a yellow background. And that's actually kind of cool, like, I really like it. And that's why I bought the book now, you know, because there was this cover change. And as soon as I got the book in my mailbox, as soon as I opened up the package, I began reading it, because I think I want to read this book, like, I've wanted to read this book for like 2 years, something like that. I waited for so long, so I'm very, very happy about the new cover. So that were all my thoughts about Eleanor and Park by Rainbow Rowell. If you like star-crossed, sweet romances, I definitely recommend this book to you guys. And if you've read it, you know, just leave a comment and we can discuss. Or tell me if you're planning to read it soon, you know, so I can recommend it, you know, I can push the book to you. I'll see you guys with another video. Merci beaucoup et à bientôt.